Hello everyone, this is Kona, and thank you for tuning in for another TF2 commentary. Now in this video, I wanted to talk about playing a game, in this case it's going to be TF2, but actually playing any game for a long time, and competitive. And I kind of wanted to talk competitive as well because the UGC season is starting up. The reason I wanted to talk about this was because I've noticed an interesting pattern with myself. It's kind of strange, and it's that the longer I play a game, the worse I get. I know that sounds a little strange, and I'm wondering if there are people out there who are like that as well. But for me, I do best right in the beginning, and the longer I stick to playing a game, the worse I get. And unfortunately, even though I really want to play a game, like if I sit down at night and I'm like, I really want to play a lot of TF2, I can only get away with a couple of hours of TF2, and after that, I start just going downhill, and all of a sudden I suck again, and I'm like, wow, this isn't working, you know, like, this is kind of weird. And I'm wondering if anyone else has this kind of problem where they can't stick with a game for very long. Now, I seem to do best when I come back from a really long break from not playing a game, so maybe I'll take a couple of days off from TF2, and when I come back, it may take a few games for me to get back into the groove of things, but I start to play my best within those first few games. And then once I hit my peak, you know, maybe an hour to 2 hours into playing, I start really sucking again. And then I can't seem to get the ball rolling again. I just have to quit for the night. So it's kind of a strange way for me to play video games, at least for me, is I have to play them, and when I want to do good at them, I have to take a break from them, and I know that when I come back from the break, I'll probably be a lot better. Now, I'm not sure about the real reason behind this, and then I don't think it's because I'm getting bored of these things. You know, like I said before, where I spend some nights and I really want to play a lot of TF2, but I can feel myself start to suck, and then I have to just stop for the night. And so I don't think it's because I'm bored or I'm not willing to, you know, put in the hours. I am, but it's just for some reason I can't keep up that skill level, and I end up having to quit for the night and stop playing the game that I really want to play. Now, some of you may like to do this. I like to end my gaming nights on a good note. I like to end with a win. But sometimes, you know, you just can't get that win. It takes forever to get that one win. You're like, okay, last round. I'm going to win this one, and then I'm going to go to bed. And then 5 games later, you know, you still haven't got your win yet. And it's because, and you're wondering, like, why is it that I can't seem to get this one win? I've been playing for a long time. I should be good at this game by now. And yet, for some reason, I just can't seem to enjoy it, or I can't seem to do well at it. Now, for me, this sort of relates to competitive TF2, and this is one of the reasons why I don't play competitive TF2, and it's because I can't seem to stay with TF2 for a very long time. I know there's a bunch of competitive guys out there who can play TF2 all night, 5 hours plus straight of TF2, and they seem to do really well the entire time, and that's amazing that they can do that. But for someone like me who can only, you know, can only stay good at this game for about an hour or so, and after that it's all downhill. I can't recover after that. You know, it's very difficult for me to actually be a competitive player. Now, I like to take breaks from TF2, and what is a more gamer way of taking a break from a game than playing another game, of course, obviously. And so I like to actually take a break from TF2 by playing other games. Actually, I gotten into this new game, a completely different genre. It's so weird. I'm actually starting to enjoy these different genre of games. It's called Ni no Kuni. It's a game by Studio Ghibli and Level 5. It's really cool. It's a JRPG, and I have never played a JRPG in my life. But I am really enjoying this because, you know, it's a new game, and there's a lot for me to learn, and it kind of puts the pressure off of always playing first-person shooters all the time. I've also been playing a lot of Dota 2, which is a really fun MOBA, and you know, when you play something like a MOBA, pretty much no skills transfer over from a first-person shooter to a MOBA. It's completely different. You use the mouse a lot to move. It's so weird. But I've noticed that when I take these breaks from TF2 by playing these other games, and then when I come back to TF2, you know, it may take a few games for me to, you know, warm up a little bit, but once I do pretty awesome. You know, at least from my point of view, I do pretty awesome. And it seems like I haven't lost my touch. You know, I actually do my best when I come back from these long breaks, and I'm wondering whether you guys, whether anyone else has this issue where they take a long break from a game and when they come back, they seem better than ever. You know, after being like this for pretty much my entire life, it puts practice kind of in perspective. At least for me it does, you know, like not to overdo practice. And what is up with that face stab? I don't get it. But yeah, after going through all of this, it kind of puts the idea of practice into perspective, at least for me, because I know that I have a limited amount of time that I can be good at a game. You know, I don't have all night. I only have like a very small window to actually take advantage of being good at a game. And so, you know, I have to try to use my time very effectively when I start to, you know, be really good at something. And oh, by the way, here, the spy. I know it's obviously a spy, and I try to trap him in this room. I forget he has a revolver, so I get shot and run away. Now, I want to go back to competitive players, because like I said before, competitive players, they can spend a long time playing just one game, and because they spend such a long time doing that, they get really good at that. Now, I don't watch just competitive TF2. I watch sometimes competitive TF2, but I like to watch other competitive games like fighting games, like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I like to watch competitive Dota, and what's kind of interesting is that these competitions and these competitive players like to stream, you know, basically their gaming sessions all on game sites like Twitch TV. Now, Twitch TV, I used to actually be on Twitch TV. That's kind of how I got started with this whole YouTube thing. Is I actually started on Twitch TV, and because I have this weird issue of not being able to play, you know, very good for a long time, Twitch TV sort of didn't fit my style, because, you know, for Twitch you have to dedicate a long time, and I'm talking like 3 to 5 hours a day to, you know, to be on Twitch TV and play and build an audience. And so it's kind of unfortunate that I can't keep up my skill level for very long. But competitive players are different. They can play a single game for a very long time. They can play all night, and they never seem to get bored of it. They just continue to play. And because of that, I think that's one of the reasons why they're so good at it, is because they just continue to play. They get to continue to experience new things more than your average player, and that's why they're so good. Now, my question for you guys is, when do you hit your peak performance when playing games? Are you kind of like me where, you know, after you're taking a break or two, you come back and you actually do your best after you come back from the break? Or do you like to spend hours warming up, and then after hours of warming up, you are then at your peak performance? And also, do you like to play competitive, or do you play competitive when you're like this? Because I'm wondering if this is some kind of difference between competitive players and more casual pub players, you know, the times at which they hit their peak performance. Let me know in the comments below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.